So when you walked into these doors, when you came in today, and those doors opened up and you came and found your seat, I wonder if you walked into this place looking for a seat or looking for change. So I wonder what was the essence of who you were when you came into this place. Because if you came in just to experience something, it might change you for a moment. But if you came in expecting something, it could change your life forever. That there's something that happens when God has an environment of expectation. It's not that he moves more profoundly. It's that we sense him more profoundly. See, they were expecting him. They were ready for him. There was this energy of like, what is about to happen? See, I love Sunday mornings at 9:59 a.m. Because it's like an endless possibility of what could happen. And I don't want to be the type of person that when I walk into a room, something profound and transcendent could have happened or did happen, but I didn't have the eyes to see it. And then I didn't have the fruit to experience it. See, there was a spirit of expectation. They knew that something was about to go down. But here's the thing about expectation. See, in the same way when you create an environment of expectation, you also create an opportunity for disappointment. Yeah. Have you ever just been so disappointed by God? Yeah. You said that really loud. No, he's listening. Don't get too excited. No. Right, but it's just real, right? We've all had moments where we feel like God has let us down. And if we haven't felt that, maybe we're not being honest, or maybe we haven't actually trusted our future and our present and our lives to God. But if you're in a relationship with God, there's the reality that there's going to be moments when you feel like God has let you down. And so when we're talking about this sense of urgency, when we're talking about things that need to shift in us, right, the first reality that we have to understand is that you have to learn how to deal with disappointment. Because if you even take God out of the equation, there's no God. It's not real. You know what's still real? Disappointment, heartache, hardship, struggle, right? Life is the reality that we are going to put ourselves in positions to see amazing things happen and to have this expectant spirit. But if you have an expectant spirit, what you have also invited in is an opportunity to be disappointed, is an opportunity to be let down. But let's not just talk about what it looks like to be disappointed by God or what it looks like to be disappointed by others. Have you ever just been disappointed by yourself? Have you ever just known that you are more than your choices? Have you ever found yourself in a season where you could act like it's everyone else's fault, but the reality of that, you feel like you're just existing and not living, is not because of anything someone else did, but it's because of what you chose not to do. And if you're going to move from that place of disappointment, then you have to be honest about it, and you have to decide that was who I was, but it will not be who I become. And you will allow, if one person's going to clap, let's all clap. Like, that's just a rule. Imagine what was going through Jairus' mind when he puts himself out there, when he risks it all, humiliation, embarrassment, and he goes to the feet of Jesus. He says, my daughter is dying. My daughter is in a fight. I don't know what to do. You could sense the feeling of helplessness, of pain, of urgency. That I don't know what to do, but I know who I need to go to. And he goes and he says, Jesus, I need you to come to my house because my daughter is sick. And in the very same moment when Jesus sees his pain, he sees his hunger, and he's on his way to go and heal his daughter, all of a sudden, this other woman comes along and steals his blessing. I know we're not supposed to talk about that, or know we're not supposed to say that, but imagine you're in Jairus' shoes and you believe that God can actually heal your daughter. I imagine when he sees this woman healed and he sees what happened, he's got to think that had my name on it. Have you ever just been angry that God answered someone else's prayer but not yours? Okay, don't admit that. Don't. But it's real, right? What do you do when you've been dating him for years and then your best friend's been dating her boyfriend for months and then she gets engaged? I know on Instagram you say, yeah, get it, girl, but I know inside you're like, why me? What about me? Right? Or what do you do when your mom gets the worst news possible and your family's fighting through a cancer diagnosis and you don't know what her future looks like and you're desperately believing that God could move, but then every time you hear God moving, you wonder, does he have enough power for me too? And I think a lot of times the way that we interact with one another, the way that we engage with one another, and the way that we engage with God is that we think God works with limited power. And that if he moved in your life, it means that there's less for me, but we don't realize the goodness of God. And that there's more than enough for all of us. And we have to come with him with the level of expectation that even if I risk it, even if I put myself out there, I'd rather believe in the possibility of hope than live in the reality of despair. And there's this expectation that when you engage with God, there's the possibility of the new awaiting you, but you have to learn how to deal with disappointment because it will force you to move forward in one of two ways. You cannot be neutral. So your disappointment, it will either disappoint you or it will catapult you. The choice is yours.